next to across the ocean to North America, to Mexico City, Mexico, and to Roberto Ayala.
Thank you. Good day, everyone. Well, 3 lessons learned. One, we need to be better prepared for disasters. It can be possible that every time that a disaster strikes, we are improvising. We need to be better prepared for disasters of any kind. Second, all of a sudden, governments and health authorities and authorities in general have found that exists something called biomedical clinical engineering. Now it's a moment. I think that once that we have rise from the darkness, I think that we need to take care of, to take this opportunity to be better coordinated with authorities and governments, because they have found that we are certainly useful in these kind of situations. Third, we have found that it's possible to have open source materials. I think that that's something that we have to also strengthen, that to have better repositories of material, because we have found that is really possible. So let's take this opportunity as well. Now, about the challenges, at least from here, from our side in this part of the world, it's a shame that some authorities haven't used as in its full potential expert units like Cenetec in the case of Mexico, or they have been using us very late in the process. I think that if a country has an expert unit that can be of help, they should be using it. The second one is that we have to say that biomedical and clinical engineers certainly have been very, very aware of the situation. They have been very, they've been ready for action. But I think that we need better coordination. We need to move to the same line, because otherwise we're going to dissipate our efforts. So I think that we are right now needing a better coordination between the biomedical clinical engineering community, at least on our side. And finally, the third challenge is that we need better and proper guidelines, especially for this situation regarding building ventilators, open source, low-cost ventilators. There's been still some kind of confusion regarding specifications and standards and so on. So I think that we need to have final guidelines on what to do, when to do, if some kind of ventilator is better than other, and also obviously for any other type of devices. So I think that we need to have better and more harmonized guidelines. That's all on my part. Please take care, all of you, and keep safe. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Roberto.
Thank you, Roberto.
And let's move to US with Doug Dreps in the Center of America Sister of Charity System. And Doug, if you can, in addition to overall description of the challenge, address a question that came up. What do you do about PM during this period? Doug?
Yes, thank you, everybody. Unfortunately, my video is not working, so you will not get to see me. So when we looked at the, can everyone hear me?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. So right away, when we started seeing cases at the hospital and we turned units into COVID units, I instructed my team to cease doing any kind of preventive maintenance because I did not want to put them in any harm in any of those units. So of course we would go up there and do any kind of repairs as needed. So that was very important. And this, our COVID units change by hospital, by unit every day. So keep my team updated, very important. And as far as ventilators, respiratory did not want us to do any more PMs on ventilators during this crisis because they did not want to have one down. So at our system level, they quickly formed a command center. We get new policies. It seems like every day there's a new policy as we're learning through this. But they made a giant dashboard of all the ventilators. We added all the rental ventilators. We got ventilators from veterinary clinics. We got them donated from colleges. Just all kinds of ventilators coming in. So it was important that we had to put all these into our database, and they used our database to show all the vents we had throughout our 42 hospitals. And the goal there was if we had to move vents from one state to another, we would do that to help the needs wherever that is. So we're still in the middle of this as everyone else is. So that was very important. We did that. We tracked beds. We looked at opening up new in our garages, trying to make a 350 bed med surg unit. Thankfully, it looks like we will not have to do that. So that's very good.
Very good.
Yeah, so that was the key there. Challenges or things learned when they wanted to change areas into negative pressure area rooms or the whole unit. There's some units, it was just pretty impossible for them to do that. So I think that's something they'll look at more. And the challenges I think we all face with supplies. One of the earlier panelists talked about just in time. That's the way we all work. So when it came to PPE, they instituted all PPE was going to be assigned and tracked, and they wanted us to use it, especially those who aren't in the direct with dealing with the COVID patients, but to use it at least 3 days. But we're still tracking this, and we just went to wearing masks. Now everyone's wearing them in the hospital just yesterday. So that was things we're facing. And then just keeping up with, as we pop up new units, we've moved monitors. And so nursing didn't want to have to go in the rooms because we have telemetry patients and our hub is in another location where they watch the monitors. So a lot of manufacturers have the web view. So I talked to nursing about that. So I got them loaded in and did a little quick PowerPoint so they could use it and see the heart rate and the SpO2 without having to go in the room and check on those patients. So that's been a big help. And then one thing I do want to say is nursing is, I've seen our hospital system just work so great together, and nursing is actually, they'll call us to go into a COVID room, but they'll stop us, make sure we're dressed properly, but they'll say, tell me what I can do to help troubleshoot this so you don't have to go in the room. And so that's been just excellent,
Doug, thank you for recognizing nurses' attitude these days. That's very important. And also the heads up about using the web-based view of monitors from outside the isolation rooms. Very, very neat solution.
Yeah, I'm still rolling that out to other hospitals. So.
And putting the PowerPoint training for user at the same time. Very nice.
Right.
Okay, let's move to our last presentation for the day, Bruno Roma from Brazil. Are you there, Bruno? Calibor, is he on mute?
Yeah, check, see if he's on mute.
Okay. let's open the little time that we